Hello, it is Topical Tuesday, March 13th, 2018, the lucky 13th. Steve Sipress here. Rhino of the day is this plastic wind-up rhino. Got one handed while I'm holding the camera, but ostensibly you wind up the rhino and then he runs across the table or the floor or whatever you got. That's the rhino of the day. So today's Topical Tuesday, based on the news and what's been in the news, certainly ever since we had our president take over a little over a year ago, but coming to a crescendo, or couldn't get any more crazy over the past week or so, is this chaos in the White House. This amazing turnover going on in the White House. Now, this is what we get as entrepreneurs. We all know that we have a tendency to have the ADD entrepreneur's trait and always be darting from one thing to another and looking for something new and getting bored easily. And Trump is showing that with the amazing turnover he's got, hey, Tony, in the White House. But it's a cautionary tale for other entrepreneurs. Where do you draw the line? It's got to be where you're comfortable. Evidently, Trump is comfortable with the amazing amount of chaos, people coming and going and moving around to different departments and this and that, and what everyone says about him. I mean, he's, as he'll tell you, he's lived his whole life with people saying negative things about him and putting him down and questioning everything he does, and he's fine with that. The question we all have to answer for ourselves is, where do we draw the personal line of where we're okay with how much chaos in our life, or how much do we want to sleep peacefully at night and have things running, spinning along like a top. Now, I got to tell you the pros and cons. The more chaos, the more opportunity for growth, the more things are happening. But that's also an opportunity for not only going up, but going down, right? And whereas if things are maintaining on an even keel, it's more like a typical 9-to-5 job where you don't have as much chaos. You have things just rolling along, but then your pay doesn't go wildly up. It doesn't go wildly down. Your lifestyle doesn't go up. It doesn't go down. So where do you fit in is a personal decision. As we can see from Donald Trump, man, he is excited and fine with chaos. And you've seen it throughout his professional career where he made millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, and then he went into, like, I think at the lowest he was $900 million in debt and totally broke and taking his casinos into bankruptcy. And so massive success, massive failure. And of course, if you know anyone who invests in real estate, that's just par for the course. And Trump, at heart and soul, got his start in business, and still his main business is real estate investment, which has tremendous ups and downs. People will be riding high in the hog and, hey, I own 37 rental properties and this and that, but they're all leveraged on each other, and then something happens and rates go up or inflation hits or banks stop lending or whatever happens, and suddenly as a whole house of cards, the thing falls down, right? Hey, Brian, good seeing you. So, but then typical entrepreneur would just get right back up again. So Trump gets right back up again. And so over and over in his career, Trump has gone up, gone down, lots of chaos. He seems to thrive on it. The question is, how do you feel personally about your business? Okay, are you happier when things are just rolling along on an even keel, not a lot of upside, not a lot of downside? Maybe that happens later on in your business when you first start out. And I've started many, many businesses over the years. Put everything into the business, and so you could have either wild success or it could completely fail. But as you put time and effort and money and build relationships into a business over time, usually we're not that happy with the opportunity. They could all collapse at any time, or else it could grow tremendously. However, America did put Trump in the White House, being unhappy with years and years of do-nothing Congress and weak and wishy-washy terrible presidents. They put in a guy who's going to ruffle some feathers and be a bull in the china shop, and that's exactly what we got. We got a guy who is just running the thing on a very extremely high level of chaos. Now, I will say, and Rob is here, good seeing you, one of the antidotes to chaos, which is why it's so rare for entrepreneurs to do, is to put systems into place. Because on one hand, that leads to business humming along, being predictable, being dependable, having a business that runs even without you. You know money is coming in, and clients and customers and things are getting done when you have systems. But on the other hand, on the inside, at the very least, that tears at our being, our core of being an entrepreneur, because man, there's not enough excitement here. It's just humming along like on a system. Well, if that happens, and I've been there, well, a solution that I recommend to clients is when you put systems into place and therefore you take the chaos out of your business and it hums along, you want to satisfy that entrepreneurial need for chaos. Don't do it in that business that you've already got running like a top, systematically bringing you revenue and profits. Start a new business. Do something new. Go off and, I was just talking to clients today about Michael Jordan did this. Things are humming along. Great basketball player, won 3 world championships, and then he said, you know what? I got to create some chaos. I'm kind of bored with being the greatest basketball player. I got to go out and start playing minor league baseball. So why would anyone do that, people ask? Well, you don't know the heart of an entrepreneur, people ask that. And Michael Jordan, the heart of an entrepreneur, he got bored with how great everything was going and had to go do something new. Now, after a few years of that, he very wisely, I believe, gave up that dream of becoming a great and a professional star baseball player and said, let's go back to basketball, win 3 more championships and become known as indisputably the greatest player ever. And so, but I don't know if that could have happened, if he could have continued that on without that 3-year break into doing something new and crazy and that failed miserably of going to try and play pro baseball. So you see that with Trump now in the White House. Now people that are fans of the establishment and bureaucracy and they think everything is fine, man, the anti-Trumpers are out in full force with how bad chaos is. For us as entrepreneurs, we go, yeah, that's what being an entrepreneur is. Trump's an entrepreneur. He's in the White House, and it doesn't matter that you think you've had decades or how things are done or all the, years of, I was going to say you had 200 years of not chaos, but you didn't. I mean, there was civil war, there was, world wars, all kinds of stuff happening. The president, Trump just seems to want to bring it upon himself. So even if things seem okay, he's got to mix it up because he's an entrepreneur. Watch out for that, okay? Make sure that when you mix it up, you're not doing it just to mix it up. You're not messing up something you have just because you can't stand when things are just running like a top and you got to have some chaos. Get a hobby that's chaotic. Learn some new skill and that'll be chaotic and you'll be bad at it and that'll solve the problem. That'll serve for you the purpose of having some time and energy spent on something that you don't know the outcome that could fail miserably. But don't do it in your main business. This is my suggestion, unless you're as strong as Trump and you can handle it. Because Trump, nothing bothers him, and he just keeps going along. And one guy's out, new one's in. Did I tell him in person? I don't know. Did I tweet? Nothing matters to him, apparently. I'd have to say that's real rare. Not every entrepreneur, and probably almost none of us, can handle the amount of uncertainty and chaos and craziness that Trump can. So be careful. That's a Topical Tuesday tip for today. Isaac is here. Phil Brakefield is here. Thanks for everyone for being live. I don't see any questions, comments, concerns, issues, other than with the general topic of today. We're all a little concerned, but rest assured, you got an entrepreneur in the White House who loves chaos. He wouldn't have it any other way. And besides, what do you want? Go back to the unchaotic, boring, crappy government that we've had for decades? Like, you can't get any worse than what we have with the last 2 presidents, so what the heck? Might as well have fun for 4 years while we're going through whatever we're going through, and maybe this will send a signal to America when they vote and to people who come in that, like, okay, we had those 4 years of total, utter chaos and craziness, so maybe the 16 years of crap is no good, and the 4 years or 8 years or whatever of chaos was no good. How about we have someone who's actually humming along really well without the chaos and actually is getting things done in a positive way? Like, could we have that? We'll see. But anyway, that's it for Topical Tuesday. You see the entrepreneur in the White House creating the chaos. We all love it. We got to be careful to not have too much of it. Too much of it is a bad thing. Too much, not enough of it, we get bored. But too much chaos, things can get kind of crazy. Walk that fine line, and hopefully you have guidance and advisors and boards of directors and mentors and coaches and consultants and all that to help you, because often we can't see it in ourselves. We need someone else to bounce things off us before we make a decision that might cause all kinds of craziness, because often as entrepreneurs we have family, we have employees, we have suppliers, we have customers, we have people depending on us. We can't just fulfill our need to be willy-nilly chaos and possibly affect lots of other people. Just my 2 cents. Obviously, I differ in my opinion there from our commander-in-chief in the White House. He seems to not care who he affects as long as he is having the level of chaos that he likes to have. I suggest a little more caution to think about some others and not just satisfy our need for the chaos. But that's it. Maybe you feel differently. Leave me a note in a comment. Let me know. And catch me back here tomorrow on Wisdom Wednesday. Well, I will just share a bit of wisdom, something I believe in. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I hope I'll see you there. As you see in the background, it's yet another spectacularly beautiful sunset here in beautiful Arizona. That's it for Topical Tuesday. Thanks for being here today, everyone live and everyone on the replay. Steve Sipress, over and out. Bye-bye.